What is going on, all you Slexy beasts out there? It's your boy Slaxorus here, and today I am bringing you guys some UU live suspect testing. In the background, you guys will be hearing Legacy, which is one of the newer Black Triforce songs, so if you want to go ahead and download that, you can. I really like the song, but without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get into this UU battle, or this UU suspect testing. We're going to be using a team built around Snorlax. Basically, Snorlax is going to start setting up curses and sweeping. We do have Dougie here, which is Choice Banded Dougie, to get rid of threats to Snorlax. We have Salamence, which is Life Orbed, all these moves. Iron Tail to take out fairies. Scarf Heliolisk to take out Crobats, as well as Mega Aerodactyl. Specifically, that's why we gave it a Scarf. We have Cobalion with a Chople Berry to take any fighting move. We can take an Aura Sphere from a Mega Blastoise, which is really good with the Chople Berry. And we do have Blastoise, Mega Blastoise for our Rapid Spinner. So UU is actually suspect testing Mega Pidgeot, which is something that's interesting. That's really interesting. I personally don't really have a preference on Mega Pidgeot, and that's mainly because I do run Scarf Heliolisk, so I really don't care. I don't know if that makes it bad or good, but Mega Pidgeot is a pretty decent poke. So looking at this man's team, his team gets swept by a setup Snorlax. So what I need to do is I need to weaken his. The only thing I really need to weaken. I can actually start setting up on his Sharpedo if he brings that thing in, but I need to weaken his Florges. That's the main thing I gotta weaken here. So let's go ahead and lead off with our Cobalion here to get off some rocks, so we can go ahead and put in some work. As he's gonna lead off with his Sharpedo. I'm just gonna set up rocks here. If he goes for the Protect first turn, he probably will, but there's nothing he can do that can OHKO me unless he carries Earthquake for some reason. But he actually just ends up going into his Nidoking. Shout out to my boy Styles X2, back when he used to love Nidoking. Anyways, if he's gonna go for the Earth Power, he's gonna go for the Earth Power. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Personally, what does Cobalion really do for us? Cobalion doesn't really do much. Sure, it takes out these 3 pokes right here, but I'm just gonna go for the Iron Head, trying to get a flinch, trying to just get damage off on this this threat. As we do get a flinch, which is really lucky for us. Cobalion is putting in work right now. He switches into Amoonguss. As he does get off the Earth Power, which is cool. I'm super tempted to just go into Snorlax and start setting up, which is something I definitely could do, because he doesn't have anything to take on Snorlax. He might carry Superpower, to be honest, on his Honchkrow, which might be a problem, but at the same time, I don't really... To be honest, I don't really care, as my entire team outspeeds this thing except for Snorlax. So I'm really tempted to switch into Snorlax and start setting up, but I'm not. I'm going to actually just go into Dugtrio and Revenge Kill him with an Earthquake. Just go ahead and take him out. He's probably going to go into Sharpedo, and if he goes into Sharpedo, then I can switch into... first I can switch into Salamence, since Salamence does Intimidate him, and that lets me get off the Intimidate, of course, which doesn't let him run through my team. As he ends up going into his Amoonguss, I'm just going to go for another Earthquake, weakening this threat as well, because Amoonguss is definitely a threat to this entire team. As he ends up going for the Giga Drain and not taking me out, luckily, but that just lets me get off some more damage on this thing, as a Banded Earthquake does 48% to an Amoonguss. So I'm just going to go into Snorlax now and go for the Curse, as even if he goes into his Honchkrow, I'm not really worried, as he ends up going for the Spore, which is fine. I do carry Sleep Talk. Now he's going to know my full set, but the problem is now I don't know how many turns I'm going to be asleep. I know for sure I'm going to be asleep this first turn, so I'm going to be I'm guaranteed to get off this Sleep Talk. But let's go ahead and see what he goes into. He ends up going into his Porygon Z here, most likely to go for the Tri Attack. So we do roll a Body Slam, which is cool, as he ends up just going for the Tri Attack here, which is definitely Specs. We're going to go for another Body Slam here and take it out. Since we did paralyze it, that was very fortunate for us. We are able to take that thing out, as whatever he wants to go into doesn't, or can't really handle us. As he ends up going into his Amoonguss, I'm just going to go for another Curse. Simply because, actually he ends up going for the Spore, outspeeding us because we did lose speed. I forgot about that. I should have just gone for the Sleep Talk, predicting the Spore, but I forgot that we lost speed because of Curse, as he ends up going for the Sludge Bomb, not doing anything to us. As we Sleep Talk Arrest, which sucks, but we do have leftovers, so this Sludge Bomb isn't doing crap. He could go into, I don't know what he has for us. I honestly don't know what he has for us. He might go into, as he ends up going for the Giga Drain, just trying to get health back, as we do wake up again. Wow, I'm just going to go for another Sleep Talk, predicting another Spore. He's most likely gonna go for another Spore. By the way, we're listening to Lineage, not Legacy. I don't know why I said Legacy. Lineage. But yeah, really like this song. As he ends up going for the Toxic. Wow, that was a pro play, if I've ever heard of the word pro play. I'm just gonna go for the rest, predicting because he can't Spore me, so I'm just gonna go for the rest, get back up to a really good amount of HP, all the way back up to full, and now I know I'm going to be asleep for 2 turns, so I can fire off 2 Sleep Talks. Hopefully I get a Curse. That's what I'm really hoping for, as he ends up going into his Haunch Crow. And so let's see what we Sleep Talk. We do Sleep Talk Body Slam, taking out this Haunch Crow. Pretty sure that's the only threat left, as we do win now with Snorlax. So he can go into this thing all he wants. It doesn't matter. As he ends up going for the Protect. Hopefully we get a Curse. We get a Body Slam. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to go for a Curse now. We're going to be able to take any Strong Jaw hit from this thing, especially after our Curses. As he does Mega Evolve and does go for the Crunch. And we do wake up and go for the Curse. So very, very good for us. Very, very fortunate that we do get that critical Curse up, as his Crunch is only going to be doing like around 30% now. So we could definitely rest here. He's going to put us down to 38%. I'm just going to rest. As he puts us down to 41%. I actually overestimated Torpedo, or he got a low roll, but it doesn't matter. Either way, we're going to be able to take this thing out if we do roll a Body Slam. As he ends up forfeiting, so that is GG. It's basically Crocoon, except on a fatter, bigger level, as this man has a Doublade. First thing I noticed is the Doublade, but the rest of his team cannot handle Slowbro after a couple of Curses, so let's go ahead and lead off with Cobalion, of course, trying to get up these rocks to neuter this thing, as well as get rid of a potential Sash, as well as hurt this thing, as he's just going to go ahead and switch out. Going for the Iron Head would have been a better play to weaken that thing ahead of time, but it doesn't matter, as he's going to intimidate us going into a Salamence. I'm fairly certain he's just going to drop a Draco, so I'm just going to stay in an Iron Head, getting off some really good damage, as he actually ends up going for the Defog, being a Defog variant, so that's cool. It doesn't really matter. I get to set up my rocks again, as he goes for the Roost. I'm super tempted to go into my own Salamence, but I'm not going to play that just yet. I'm just going to go for the Iron Head again. I could actually set up an SD, which is actually something I'm going to do, considering that his team does not appreciate me after I set up an SD. Except for his Doublade, his team does not appreciate me after I set up an SD. As he ends up going for the Fire Blast, does connect, which is fine. He ends up being the same set I am, except instead of Iron Tail, I'm fairly certain he's running Defog. So from that knowledge, we do outspeed him. So I'm just going to go into Heliolisk now, and I can just fire off a Volt Switch here. I'm pretty sure a Volt Switch would take him out from this range. Famous last words. As he ends up going into his Porygon 2. Does copy our Dry Skin, but not a huge deal. We are Arshy. We're pretty ashy. As let's go ahead and just switch into Blastoise and Mega Evolve. And we could fire off an Aura Sphere, but I'm going to make a pro play and actually go for the Dark Pulse. No, I'm going to go for the Aura Sphere. As that does do 45%, very good, as he does end up T-waving us just to get off or recover this following turn. Hopefully we break through. We do break through. We do hit, of course, because we always hit. And see, the thing is, I can't start setting up with Snorlax because he does have that Doublade still alive, and my only thing really stopping Doublade right now is this thing. So I'm just going to actually go into Doug Trio to fire off an EQ, as he does go for another recover. So let's just go ahead and get off this powerful EQ. 30%, not bad, as he puts us down. Hopefully we get a crit. We do get a crit. Power. But he just roosts that off. That sucks. A crit does not kill, so man, this thing's annoying. I'm just gonna go for another. Oh my gosh, this thing is so annoying. Porygon 2 is so annoying. Maybe that was a reason why we should have kept our Cobalion, but it doesn't matter. Because he is going to be able to take us out. I'm actually just going to go into Salamence to drop a Draco. Taking this thing out because I don't want to play with this thing anymore. I'm just going to drop a Draco. If he ends up... We miss! Oh my gosh. That's frustrating. As we do drop a Draco, even if, I mean, you could say that didn't matter, but I mean, I don't think we can win that one. It's whatever. I can't handle that one anymore. Porygon 2 is so annoying. I should have saved Cobalion. You could have said that that could have mattered. That didn't matter because I only did 40%, but we don't know that because that could have definitely been a low roll. As he does have another Porygon 2. So, but the good part about this guy's team, his team gets absolutely demolished by Snorlax. So I'm actually really tempted to just lead with it, like I am in every battle. But he actually ends up just leading with his Donphan to get off the Rapid Spin. So let's just go ahead and lead off with Stealth Rocks here. Does go for the Earthquake. Takes us down to that much health bit. Let's just go into Snorlax and start setting up some curses. As he ends up setting up his own rocks. I don't agree with that play. As he doesn't go for the knockoff. We don't care about that because we do have rest. Like I said, this is basically Crocoon, but on a bigger, fatter level. As he ends up going into a Salamence to drop a Draco. We do have pretty decent special defense investment, so let's just rest here. As he actually ends up going for the Dragon Dance. Okay. Friend? Okay. Ends up going for the Dragon Claw. Doesn't do anything. As we Sleep Talk a Curse, which makes us hard wall this thing even more, which is fantastic. As we get a rest, which doesn't really matter. He's gonna go for another Dragon Claw here. I'm just gonna go for the Body Slam, killing this thing off, which is the best thing. As he does put his, ooh, that did a lot. That last one did too much. He might be able to kill us with something. Aura Sphere might be able to take us out from this range. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to have to go for the rest of this next turn. He got a really high roll. He got a high roll on that last Dragon Claw. As he does end up going into his Blastoise here to go for the Aura Sphere. I'm just going to have to rest and hope we don't die to this. Oh, we die. That sucks. Now I'm just forced to go into Heliolisk. I could fire off a Volt Switch, but I'm going to make the pro play and go for the Hyper Voice. Predicting a switch into Donphan. This is Stab. It's going to do a pretty good amount of damage. It almost takes him out. Let's just go for another one. That is going to be able to take him out. So very good that we did get off that 2-hit KO on that Donphan. Donphan was really the biggest threat. But mainly that high roll is what screwed us over there. But it's not a huge deal. I'm just going to just... we need Cobalion. We need Cobalion because he does have that Porygon too. So let's just go into Blastoise and Rapid Spin. As he ends up going for the Aura Sphere here. I'm just going to Mega Evolve here and Rapid Spin. We should be able to live another one after the Mega Evolution. Yeah, I need to get rid of these rocks. As we do outspeed him and get rid of our rocks, which is very fortunate for us. As he does take us out, so it's not a huge deal. As now I can go into Heliolisk and just fire off a Volt Switch. As he ends up switching out into his Porygon 2, which is fantastic because now we can switch into our Cobalion and just fire off a close combat at something. Basically at anything. Whatever comes in doesn't appreciate it. If he switches into Entei for some reason, Entei's not going to appreciate this at all. As he actually ends up staying in and living, but that just puts him in range of anything else. As he actually carries Thunder Wave. Wow. Does every single goddamn Porygon 2 carry Thunder Wave? This is annoying. This is just... oh my god. Oh my god! Oh man. That sucks. That sucks. I don't know if we can take out this Porygon 2. I kind of wish he didn't get that high roll on Snorlax. We would have been able to live that Aura Sphere. As we get off some pretty good damage on this thing, ends up just going for the Tri-Attack. A Thunderbolt. Hopefully we paralyze or something, as he ends up just stalling us here. Paralyze. Come on! I need a paralysis. I need something. Come on. Oh, he got the freeze! Oh, come on, man. That's... gosh, I hate Porygon so much. Oh, I hate Porygon. This thing is so annoying. I hate Porygon. Oh my lord, just die. Alright, no. No. No, so far it's just been Rage. Thankfully this guy does not have a Porygon. Alright. Something that doesn't absolutely demolish his team. Actually, we should keep Blastoise around more. That's what that means. That's what that means. That we should keep around Blastoise more. Let's just go ahead and lead off with you. He might go for a Mach Punch. I'm not feeling that. I'm not really feeling it, so I'm just going to go into Salamence here to intimidate him. He could carry HP Ice, which is a possibility. As he ends up just going for the Mach Punch there. I'm going into Snorlax. I'm setting up. I'm setting up. Let's do it. 1v1 Suicune. Let's go. Curse. Let's start cursing. As he actually ends up carrying Toxic, which is really strange. It's actually really strange for a Suicune to carry Toxic. I've never really seen... I mean, I don't know. It's a weird variation. As he ends up going into his Infernape. He's going to go for the close combat. I'm going to go for the rest. Just to get rid of this Toxic, because Toxic is super annoying. As he does end up going for the close combat. Just 56%. Jeez. Oh, he has Life Orb. Okay, that makes sense. Very good for us. We do get off that rest. As he ends up going for another close combat. Hopefully we roll a Curse or a Body Slam. Oh, come on. He's going to take us out of this next close combat. Let's just go into Salamence here. Does go for the close combat. The good thing is that we are whittling this thing, so let's just drop a Draco on something that whatever wants to come in. As I actually could switch back into Snorlax here. As he ends up going into his Abomasnow. This thing doesn't have Snore Warning. That's soundproof. I'm so confused. Let's just go back into Snorlax here. That's another turn of sleep that we're gonna burn. Which means that we can actually go for the rest of the next turn. That's if he stays in on Abomasnow, though. With Abomasnow. As he ends up Mega Evolving, going for the Giga Drain. As now we're forced to go for the rest because we are going to wake up this turn. We aren't going to wake up this turn, as he can just Ice Shard us here, which should be able to take us out. We do have Thick Fat, so I don't know if that's going to... we do survive! Survival! We get that rest off, which is fantastic. As we get back up to full, which is fantastic. Fan-tuba-luba-luba-luba-luba-astic. Woo! As he goes into his Infernape, hopefully we... Yes! We roll a Body Slam, and we do paralyze it, which is fantastic. Let's go and Sleep Talk again. Actually, no, we're not. That's a bad play. Let's go into Salamence and just get rid of this thing. Because he's going to go for a close combat. There it is. And there down goes his Infernape. So, very good for us. As the next play we can totally make is actually go back into Snorlax, predicting depending on what he goes into, as he actually ends up going into his Abomasnow. I'm just going to sack off Salamence here, because if he stays in, and, okay, there we go. Now we can just start going for Sleep Talks here. As he ends up going into his Crocodile. Okay. As we do roll a Curse, which is very good. I'm pretty sure... No. That's our last turn of sleep, so let's just go for a Curse here. We have had 2 turns of sleep, so I don't know what this Crocodile wants to do. As he ends up going for a knockoff, knocks off our leftovers, not a huge deal. As we do get another Curse up, which is fantastic. Let's get another Curse up, and then we will start putting in work. As he actually ends up forfeiting, Snorlax would have swept again. So let's go and get one more. We need to avenge ourselves because of freaking Porygon 2. They should be suspect testing Porygon 2. Porygon 2 is way too powerful. Oh man, that's going in the title. That's the title of this video. Porygon 2. This disgustingness. As this man, he does have something to deal with Snorlax, which sucks. But once we get rid of that thing, we can start sweeping. So let's go and lead off with Cobalion here. We can trap some stuff with Dougie, which is very good. We might actually want to trap that Jellicent just to get off some really good damage on it, and then that lets us take it out with basically anything else. As he ends up leading off with Krook. Krook can it can Earthquake. What's more important here, rocks or damage? I'm gonna go for rocks. Long term. As he ends up setting up his own rocks, which is cool for him. I'm just going to go for the close combat now. Should do a pretty decent chunk to whatever wants to come in. Actually, he's going to go into his Jellicent. Okay. He's going to go for the Willow. So I'm just going to go into Blastoise here.
Who's that guy?
As he ends up just going for the Willow here. As I'm going to Mega Evolve. I'm pretty sure he's going to predict our Dark Pulse and go into something to take it on, so I'm actually going to go for the Aura Sphere, predicting a switch. Actually, I might want to just get off the Rapid Spin, predicting a switch, so that way we can get these rocks up out. If he stays in, he stays in. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I don't really expect him to want to stay in because we do carry. I mean, it's pretty common knowledge that Blastoises carry Dark Pulse, and he can switch into something. As he actually ends up staying in to get off a Recover, just to see. pretty much just to gauge how much a Dark Pulse will do. As this Dark Pulse does 55%. He's gonna wear us down. That's disgusting. But it doesn't matter. As he ends up going into his Heracross here. I'm gonna go for the Hydro. Do I need Blastoise? Looking at it, I need it for his Jellicent. So I'm super tempted to save this thing. So I'm just gonna go into Cobalion. As he ends up going for the close combat, but we do have Chople Berry, so we will be able to eat that up, and we can actually fire a close combat right back. As he actually might actually go into his as he actually ends up being Scarfed, which is interesting. What do we want to do? What do we want to do? I'm guessing I'm just gonna have to blow my Scarf here. Yeah, I'm forced to just blow my Scarf here. Me switching into this thing was super obvious. I'm gonna go for the Hyper Voice actually. No, I'm not. Actually, it's pick my evil here, because if I go for the Hyper Voice, so it's either go for the Hyper Voice and take him out with that, but then he goes into his Jellicent, and then I'm forced to switch something into his Jellicent, or I can go for the Thunderbolt and have him switch into his Crocodile. I'm actually just gonna go for the Thunderbolt and then have him switch into his Crocodile, so that way I can pull a switch out into my Salamence. But he actually ends up going into his Nidoqueen, which is a cool play as well. He can do that too. I'm actually just gonna go. I want to go Dougie. I'm gonna go Dougie. As he does end up packing Sludge Wave, but we are going to be able to take him out because we do trap him. So, very nice for us. We are able to take that thing out. As if he goes into Heracross, he goes into Heracross. We can Sucker Punch that thing. But whatever wants to come in does not appreciate an Earthquake. As he actually ends up going to his Blastoise. Blastoise will be able to take this Earthquake very well, as we've seen earlier. But this chip damage is very important, as that 47% is going to come into is going to very much help us. As I could go into Heliolisk and then go for the Volt Switch here. Actually, I want to do a quick calc. Heliolisk. How much does a? Oh, that's Specs. No, let's just do no item. And let's go for Hyper Voice. Hyper Voice does 38%, and he's at 41%. So it looks like we're forced to go for the Volt Switch if we go into him. Which does suck. We are forced to go for the Volt Switch. Yeah, that does. Yeah, there's no way. We're forced to go for the Volt Switch here. He could go into his Krook. So it's a 50-50 of whether or not he stays in. Knowing how he's been playing, he's most likely gonna he's gonna stay in. No, he's not. He's gonna switch out into Krook. Okay, that's a little bit of a regret, but it's whatever. We can just go into Salamence and intimidate him. I'm going to go and pause it until he makes a move. We'll be right back 1 second. Oh no, he actually made a move. Cool. As he ends up going for the knockoff, knocking off our Life Orb, I'm just going to drop a Draco on whatever wants to come in. Actually, he could go into... Yes, that Krook is going to be able to eat up that Draco, of course. But that chip damage is very good for us. As he actually ends up going for the Bulk Up, I'm going to go for the Iron Tail now. Should do a pretty good chunk. As he actually ends up switching out into his Jellicent, which is a good play on his part. As we do drop his defense, I'm just going to start going for Iron Tails to just start doing damage to him. As we do drop his defense one more time, he ends up going for the Scald and does not burn us, thankfully, as that's so close to taking him out, but he does just go for the Recover there. So that sucks. We couldn't get a crit or something, but he ends up just going for the Willow. I'm going to drop another Draco. Oh, it's so shy of taking him out. So close to taking him out. It was so close. Oh, that's annoying. As now we are forced to go for the Dark Pulse here and just have him, he's just gonna... Do I want Aura Sphere or Dark Pulse? I'm going to Dark Pulse. I'm going to Aura Sphere, predicting a switch. As he ends up going into his own Blastoise, we are going to be able to pick that thing off. It didn't matter what we went for, that would have been able to pick it off, but he is wearing down our own Blastoise. So I'm pretty sure he knows as long as he keeps his Crook as well as his Jellicent alive and he keeps switching in between those, he's going to be able to take us out. So unfortunately, it's not looking like we're going to be able to win, as he ends up going to his Heracross to just fire off a close combat, take us out, or actually whatever he goes for is going to be able to take us out from this range. So this is looking like GG, as he actually just goes for knockoff, as I'm gonna go for Hyper Voice, as we do get a crit, are able to take that thing out. But now he's able to basically go into his Jellicent and do some stuff from there. As he actually ends up going to a Crook. As we are able to pick off Crook. I don't know why he went into Crook. As he actually ends up going into his Jellicent now. I don't agree with sacking off Crook like that, as he could have knocked us off. As he ends up going for the Willow. He does miss, which does suck for him. But I'm just going to go back into Heliolisk and fire off a Thunderbolt. As he ends up going to his Durant. Durararant. Durant's going to eat this up. Oh! Wow. As we win! GG! Oh, GG. So, thank you guys so much for watching this battle. Please make sure to drop a like if you did enjoy. Follow us all on Twitter, everybody, inside Clutch Gaming. And remember, guys, if you did enjoy, smash that like button. And without further ado, guys, my name is Admin Slaxorus, and I'll see you guys later. Please make sure to stay Slexy, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.